no kids, there's no game.
That's exactly right. You ready? Bob, start off. Can you tell us how you got involved in the game of hockey and why you like it so much?
Well, first I started to play, I believe I was 4 years old in my hometown in Hawkesbury, Ontario, and then I grew up all the way. I was a forward until I was 15 years old, and long story short, one day both goalies didn't show up, and one of my friends told the coaches, hey, he's going to go in net. Like I would always play like street hockey or on the pond, and I kind of liked it. So I played goal, and we won. And then the coaches told me, do you want to play? And I became instantly number one. But and then at 26 years old, I played. I went on to play junior A, and then at 26 years old, like after like playing like senior hockey, I wanted to stay in the games, and with two babies at home, like I felt that maybe it would be time to cut down on travel. So I just took like a goaltending coaching job with my hometown junior A team, and it started there. And 8 games later, I was the head coach. So like it's kind of like wild circumstances that happened there. But like sometimes in this business, like things don't always go as expected. So I started it, and after the 1 year, I kind of committed that I would want to become a coach in like junior hockey, and hopefully move on the ladder. And thanks to great people, great management, great scouts, great partners, great players, like I worked my way up until here in Calgary today.
Well, that's fantastic. And obviously your baptism by fire started long before you got to the Flames, so that's great. Obviously, one of the big challenges that we have in coaching is the ability for a coach to measure the difference between what he should be working on in a game in practice versus skill versus tactical. What's your opinion in minor hockey in terms of what coaches should be working on?
Well, before I go to minor hockey, I think that because I have my own hockey camp, so I deal with lots of minor hockey coaches, lots of parents. I think that the biggest problem, or maybe the biggest trap that a minor hockey coach will get into, is that if you look at minor hockey kids, they look at the Sidney Crosbys, they look at the Ovechkin, they look at the Monahan here, and so they want to compare themselves. Unfortunately, like lots of minor hockey coaches, they look at the NHL coaches for kind of tricks or ways to work, and it's two totally different games, two totally different businesses, where at the NHL level, we're paid to win. We're not paid to play everyone. We're paid to make decisions that will impact like a franchise on wins and losses. Compared to at the minor hockey level, it should be about development and fun. As a minor hockey coach, my number one priority should be, as soon as little Billy leaves the rink at 10 o'clock on Saturday, he gets into his dad's car, his first question should be, when is my next practice, or when is my next game? A coach should be a reason why a young kid would want to come back to the rink.
I agree with you 100%. It is our job to make sure we ignite the passion in the kids, because otherwise they will pack it in and then we've got nothing to do.
Exactly.
Bobby Orr talked at length about kids playing multiple sports and activities. Can you provide us some feedback on your opinion on that?
I really believe in being athletes. I coached in Switzerland 3 years ago, and I was amazed of all the work that minor hockey coaches do with kids, not only on the ice, but mainly before practice with soccer ball, going around cones, like plyometrics. I felt that even a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids could do push-ups, could do like squats, like all without weights, but using their body weight. I felt that a practice would last like maybe like 3 hours, like like the off ice and the on ice, and I really believe in this. And in the summer, kids should play tennis, they should play golf, they should play baseball, and you meet new concepts, and you teach your body the like other moves, other sports, and there's nothing wrong like playing a little bit of summer hockey, or like a hockey camp here and there. But do we need to be on the ice like 52 weeks a year? I don't think so.
There is a lot of advantage to different sports and what they teach you in terms of balance and technique, so I agree with you 100%. One of the things that Bow Valley has is we have a group called the Pride and Culture Committee, and one of the focuses of the committee is to make sure that we're trying to make our members and players more valuable members of the community and the association. hockey's a big part of our world, but it's the vehicle in which we're developing new people. Can you maybe tell us about some of your experience on how you've developed character in your players as you were coming through?
Well, there's lots of ways. I believe communication, whether it's in minor hockey, whether it's in the NHL, or just in every days of life, you need to communicate. You need to listen to people. You need to ask questions. You need to also observe. As coaches, we're not always right. And I challenge my players a lot of time for feedback. So I think that you want to build character. You always want to build a good culture, because good players will not necessarily make a good team. Good people will make a good team. And then it's the job of the coaching staff, of the entire organization, to make those good people good players. So I think that there's a fine line with this. We always want talent. Winning is such like a drug in our sport that sometimes we forget about, the reality of why we're in here with kids. Because let's face it, at the NHL level, we take it for granted too many times. We forget to thank the volunteer, organizers, coaches in minor hockey, parents, even the kids, because they're the roots of hockey. And if they're not in the rink at 6 o'clock in the morning, there won't be any National Hockey League.
Oh, you're 100% right there. And the other thing is that such a small percentage of them are ever going to get to make a living in the game. So if the game can teach them something to help them from life, then that's probably the most important thing that can happen.
Exactly. And this is such a great game, and it brings great values like respect, like honesty. It's a team game. So to teach that whether you score or you don't score, it's a matter of making sure that your teammate is as important as you, because you're absolutely right. Are we gonna, through minor hockey, maybe we're gonna have one of the best lawyers coming out of Alberta, maybe one of the best doctors, maybe one of the best citizens, and that's that should be the goal of every association.
Exactly. Hockey can always help, right? Well, thank you very much for your time, Bob. We really appreciate it with such a busy schedule, and your insight and your answers are fantastic. Any final words for the minor hockey players in Calgary?
Well, just have fun. It's a great game. Do it with pride. Make sure that you care about always who's sitting beside you. Be as a team, and remember, you come in a rink as a champion. The biggest challenge for you is to leave the rink as a champion, and it's not always based on wins and losses.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with the season.
Thank you.
Okay.